Welcome to the Clean Kitchen Podcast. My name's Levi, and I'm joined here today with Brandon, and our guest star. He's going to be permanent here, actually.
Permanent guest star.
Ethan. How are you boys doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing quite exquisite.
Yeah. Looks like Ethan's being himself, feeling awfully quiet.
All right, so how are you boys doing today? All right.
Pretty good. Quite exquisite. I heard that recently, and I think I identify pretty well with that.
All right, well, let's move on to some actual stuff. Ethan, how's it going? All right. All right. So today, this is our first podcast that we're doing today. This will become, we decided on weekly.
Yeah, I think
a weekly thing.
Yeah, as long as we're having fun. I
weekly
guess.
Of Ethan not talking about anything, just staring blankly. That's the intro.
That's a great intro. So I do have a question since you just dragged me into this room here.
Yeah.
And said, hey, you want to do something and not make any money? Let's do a podcast. So what do you think we should talk about on this podcast?
Maybe we should talk about the origin of the name of the podcast.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
So one day, I go up to Brandon here, and I'm like, we should do a podcast, because I was cleaning up the kitchen. I was like, we could do a podcast after I'm finished cleaning the kitchen. And so we get a group chat going of us three, and I say we should do a podcast a second time, but in text form. And Ethan's like, I was just thinking about that. We could do some other video ideas that I'm not sure if we're disclosing at this time, and create the podcast. So that's the origin, and we just bought the microphone. We already had most of the equipment here.
Yeah.
And now we're here today, bringing this to you, filmed on Tuesday.
No, it's Friday.
You're
actually.
Filmed on Tuesday.
So it's kind of a general format. We're going to talk about tech just a little bit, kind of keep it on a simpler level, not go deep into technological topics. We're not going to be programming on the show yet.
That sounds terrible.
Or launching any rockets of technical kind.
My button's much bigger than yours, and it actually works. Continue.
I don't want to talk about that. That's also video games.
Did you hear that everybody hates EA?
Yeah, that's been going on for a long time. I do have a
old.
question about that for you. We'll get to that. And so tech, video games, some of the cool things that are going on in men's fashion, as we all are wearing some very, very fashionable items here. Ethan, as you'll notice, is always
there's a lot of cool stuff going on in men's fashion.
I wouldn't say that.
Oh, Ethan, you actually spoke. Wasn't sure what your voice sounded like.
No, I have to sleep for 3 weeks.
Oh,
all right.
Yeah, so we're just going to talk about random stuff.
We'll probably keep men's fashion down a little bit.
Well, knowing how cool men's fashion is, I think we're going to be bringing it up quite a bit.
I don't even know that we're going to talk about that in a podcast ever.
Ever, yeah.
Well, why not?
Did you see my sweet mustache? It's pretty cool.
Well, I thought we were going to talk about waxing our backs. You guys do that, right?
I don't have hair on my back.
That's because you wax it.
And here's where we put our Dollar Shave Club ad.
Dollar Shave Club, if you would like to sponsor us.
Our 0 subscriber channel
Yeah. A
Def-
brand
we'll-
new podcast.
we'll
If
get-
anyone wants to sponsor us, we'd be very appreciative. We'll do it for rock bottom dollar.
That's true. Nothing more to say. So your EA question.
So I recently read on the interwebs that Disney's thinking about shutting down the EA Star Wars deal. Is that what I read?
So that's, from what I've seen, that's only like rumors circulating, nothing official from EA or Disney saying, hey, we're not going to have EA design or make any games from our Star Wars title that we own. My personal opinion on that would be they'd be stupid to give it away from EA, because Activision or anybody else would just be just as bad.
So you think that other people would also take advantage of microtransactions and
Of course,
screw it up?
because it's already in almost every single game.
Fair enough.
And since EA acquired Respawn, and I'm a big fan of Respawn.
There's no good game developers or game studios to.
No, Respawn, I think I saw a rumor saying that they would be creating a Star Wars game, and if they were taken out, if EA was removed the rights for it,
then
I would
Respawn
never see the Respawn Star Wars game.
Gotcha.
So that's my stance on that.
Yeah. Well, I was really excited for Battlefront 2 because it genuinely looks like a good game, I think. But being a supporter of the outrage that originated on Reddit of absolutely nobody can ever buy this game, I still haven't bought the game.
Neither have I.
Neither have I.
So
I never finished playing the first one.
There was nothing to play.
Well, I know. I didn't like level up all the way or anything.
Neither did I. I think I got to level 20 or something.
Yeah.
And got tired of being killed by the same pistol.
yeah, I played the game twice on multiplayer, I think, and I'm pretty bad at all video games.
That's because
so
you're a casual.
yeah.
They did add the DLC stuff, but I only played that a couple times.
Yeah, I bought the season pass.
I don't know that
Never played any of that
You
stuff.
bought the season pass?
I also pre-ordered the game, and after that
Oh.
game, actually, I think after No Man's
Mistakes have-
Sky, I believe I was like, I'm
Oh.
done pre-ordering.
EA
Yeah.
just sucked the money from our wallets.
Yeah. I think you got the season pass too, didn't
I
you?
did,
Yes. We both got the season pass. We're both suckers.
But I did at least
Yeah, the sucker's pass.
buy the game by itself while it was on sale for like $7. So in the end, it wasn't as bad as it could have been.
Yeah, I pre-ordered it, paid the full $60 plus the $40 season pass.
I thought the season pass was like $50.
That game was not worth $100, that's for sure.
The season pass
That's
sure
true,
was
yeah.
overpriced though.
But I'm glad I did not purchase Battlefront 2 or actually they had free DLC. Everybody was like, "Oh, this is gonna be great," and then, hey, you want to play 20 hours to unlock Darth Vader, or give us $200, and that ruined it.
As soon as I heard that, I was like, well, I'm not buying this game.
Yeah, so this is all old news, but
Yeah,
the
this is
Disney
very
and EA thing was more current.
I know things must have changed at least a little bit after they released the game. I don't know what it's like now though.
Yeah,
Well, they got rid of the microtransactions for a little bit.
temporarily removed
Right. But
microtransactions.
they added them back a week or two ago.
Did they?
Yeah, I believe so.
Maybe in like an altered form. I really don't know.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that, but
Yeah,
that's
well, I
probably
think
true.
I only read the headlines and think I know it all, so I probably don't know anything.
Yeah, you should probably read some articles sometimes.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I do.
But sometimes those also have like really false
False
information.
information, yeah, especially if you're reading that fake news.
But fake news.
I love me some fake news. You were really irritating.
There's our unofficial guest, Opie.
He's a great dog. Yep. He likes to cry a lot. Can you feed him?
You let a non-human guest
All right. So Brandon, you wanted to say something. What about Facebook or something like that?
Oh, so yeah. So on our tech news items, there's a new. So we all use SMS messaging to text our friends, whatever, right? So
Sure.
Google's coming out with a new thing called RCS. It's the next version of SMS. The important thing there is to know about it is that
Just sending an SMS.
is that instead of, so right now the carriers Verizon, AT&T, they have access to all your SMS messages, which isn't good by any means. But now what Google's saying with the next version of SMS is that they want to have all the carriers send all your SMS messages to Google's cloud, and then Google will relay the text messages back to whoever you were trying to send your text message to. So Google becomes this entity that can read and serve you ads based on what you're texting people over the next text message standard, which is pretty interesting.
If you're not freaking out about this, then you don't know what's going on. That was the headline for most net neutrality stuff.
Yeah. It's,
Which,
I don't know if it's not. It's Google is. It's at least it's not Facebook who is taking control of all our text messages, and then as soon as we open up the Facebook app, we see an ad for the Meng Yao Chinese food that we were just talking to our buddy about.
I don't
So we
use
can be
Facebook.
thankful for that. Yeah, neither do I. But
I think
Ethan,
we
Facebook,
generally-
use it?
No, not for years.
Years. Wow. Impressive.
Many years.
yeah, I haven't used it in a few minutes. It's a pretty good streak for me. I'm
It's
gonna be
pretty sad.
honest.
I've been off Facebook for 18 years. It's been,
Wow, that must have been hard.
yeah. It was really hard.
So you created your account when you were a fetus.
19 years.
I see.
19 years and counting. So yeah, I just think it's interesting that Google's going to be reading or have the ability to read through all our text messages if they really want to.
I think it's interesting that we tend to treat Google as kind of like a benevolent giant, but when it comes to Facebook, we tend to think of them as evil or
Mm-hmm.
like a monstrous organization that just wants to take all of our information.
Right, when really they're
We do
both
the
after
same-
the same thing.
We do the same thing with Google, but we just get benefit from Google, so we tend to view it as more of a positive tool instead.
Right.
I'm a big fan of DuckDuckGo.
DuckDuckGo's good. That should be their motto. DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo is good.
I've never used DuckDuckGo in my life.
Well, you should probably start using it.
Why?
So you're not tracked. You gotta
Brandon.
hop on the conspiracy train.
What about my
You know,
FBI
my
agent?
FBI agent was just telling me the other night when I was searching Google. I'm not going to tell you what I was searching, but the FBI had a nice heart-to-heart conversation with me. It really turned my life around.
You went into incognito mode and he was like, "Where'd you guys go?" Right? And that's when he
Well,
found out what
he
you were
said
looking
that
up.
Incognito doesn't matter. Incognito is
Are
still
you
the
telling me
internet.
that my FBI agent has been lying to me?
Yeah, he's just trying to get you to search how to make bombs on Google.
But you can't say it on the podcast.
I'm sorry. We're not trying to bomb anyone. We're not looking up how to make bombs.
This is all one big cut.
FBI agents can look through my search history. I'm completely open book. I use incognito mode, so I'm not
The female body investigators out there, please look for Brandon's search history. You get why that's so funny, right?
Yeah, I get why that's so funny. I can't believe you would ever invite somebody to do that. Evidently, we have a breaking news alert.
It was just a bunch of drawings.
Oh, from the female body inspectors.
Nope, this was definitely male body inspectors.
Oh, that's not good.
So Ethan, thoughts, concerns, questions,
I
ideas?
think he already voiced his concerns.
Oh, but about something new.
Oh.
All right, Brandon, what would you like to talk about now? Great segue.
Snapchat. While we're on the subject of Facebook and
Social media.
how Facebook has killed Snapchat through Instagram stories. And Kylie Jenner, I believe, is her name. One of the Kardashian girls said that essentially declared Snapchat dead this week, and it turns out people who invest in the stock market really, really listen to the Kardashian girls, because after that tweet, Snapchat's stock price went down. Their market cap went down $1.3 billion. Can you imagine? I would be so furious if the Kardashians said something about me and then everyone decided to agree with them and say, hey, yeah, he is stupid. Look, let's ignore him.
Nobody knows who you are.
That's why it would be more hurtful.
Brandon, any publicity is good publicity.
Not for Snapchat. Not in this case. Because they just went through the redesign and everyone hates it. I haven't looked at it, but...
Is that why it was declared dead?
Yeah.
Because
Well, it was dead before that. It was on the borderline of
so
dead.
just people suddenly became more dissatisfied.
Yeah, so then
But
they
I think
updated it. and everyone
Snapchat
was-
made an update in there and everybody hated it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
But it
that's
was
probably
dead. It
why
was
Kylie
pretty much
Jenner was
dead
like,
before that.
this is stupid.
Mm-hmm. She's like, this update. It's time to stop.
Oh my gosh.
And everyone stopped. So that's what's fresh in the tech news world this week, as far as what I'm concerned about.
Nothing really new in gaming, to my knowledge.
No, I haven't heard anything on gaming either.
Rise and Fall for Civilization 6 came out
How's
a
that?
few weeks ago, or a week ago, sometime this month. I actually really enjoy it. It's created pretty much an entirely new game for me. And I've put in probably about another 100 hours into the game.
That's a lot.
Yes.
I can't play a game for 30 minutes without getting bored, so I can't even fathom what 100 hours would be like.
That's kind of sad. You can't put more than 30 minutes into a game
Okay, maybe
at a time.
maybe 2 hours sometimes.
That's reasonable.
Yeah. Went to that what would you even call that? That 90s retro LAN party last weekend?
It was a video game tournament where they played. I'll talk about this. The Dragon Ball Z fighter game. Don't know what it's called. Haven't seen it in my life before.
Came out 2 weeks ago.
Came out 2 weeks ago, apparently. And the game looked amazing. I believe I had overheard that every still frame was hand drawn, kind of like Cuphead, except Cuphead was much, much, much better looking, in my opinion, because that was all hand drawn. Whatever. I won't go on about Cuphead, but that game looked amazing. Never heard of it, never played any of it. Brandon's looking up if it was actually animated or not.
Real-time fact check.
But yeah, that was pretty much, it felt like the old, or I'd never been to a 90s LAN party, but it looked like the pictures that you see on the internet of the 90s LAN parties. And they had all the Super Smash Bros. Games, except for Brawl, because apparently they don't like that one.
Apparently it's the worst one.
Apparently it's not retro enough yet.
Yeah. Well, they had the Wii U version, or the Wii U Smash Bros.
They
I don't
didn't
know
have
what that one's
a
called.
single old school Wii, did they?
I think they might have been playing Melee on a Wii.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Then they had Street Fighter, and there was another game there that I never played. That's probably it.
I don't know how to pronounce any of this stuff. Dragon
Xenoverse,
Ball,
maybe?
Exononverse?
I think it's Xenoverse.
Xenoverse?
Right, Xenoverse? That just sounds stupid.
Yeah, I'd say Xenoverse.
Yeah, but that game just
I
looked
don't know how to pronounce English.
very good. I don't really watch the Dragon Ball Z anime because I don't like the anime.
I think I saw one episode because my chemistry teacher was really into Dragon Ball Z.
That's interesting.
It is an interesting fact.
I can't find anywhere that says it was hand-drawn.
How old was your chemistry teacher?
Uh,
'Cause not too many.
hard to say. He probably late 20s, early 30s.
Oh, okay, yeah. That means that's probably about right. That's around the time people started getting the anime. When have you discovered on it,
Would
Brian?
have guessed that.
What was that?
Would have guessed it would start earlier.
It was around the beginning of.
No, I mean people that.
Yeah.
I would have guessed people would start liking anime from an earlier age.
Yeah.
So it is. Well-drawn fight scenes. That's pretty darn impressive.
So they're hand drawn and interpreted.
Yeah, so what it is there's these action sequences
Mm-hmm.
that if you do some sort of attack move, it cuts into this drawn
Or like
scene.
when a new, because you picked like 3 characters or
So
something.
is it like a quick time sequence where you're pressed? It's like
Yeah, you would like
you trigger it and then
you
go through
trigger something and it's this just like really like crazy, just well drawn, like I don't even know how to describe it.
It was kind of like an in-fight cutscene, but not really a cutscene.
Yeah, it's quick enough to where it's like it gives you like a 3-second break, but it was still impressive. The level, the visuals.
Because usually in between, when you're in like a fight game and there's like a cutscene, it's like that was really inconvenient. This one didn't look like it was inconvenient. I didn't get to play it at all.
It was like, wow, that's pretty.
It just
cool.
flowed with the game because it was
It flowed
just a
very
quick
well.
little detour.
Yeah. Wired looks like they have a good review. That said, it's well paced as well as well drawn.
Yeah. I haven't played too many of those fighter games, so I wouldn't really know what to expect from games like that.
Either. But it was cool. Because I'm not good at video games, especially games like that, like Melee and all those. I was fairly impressed at how much fun it was. And there was a lot of people there.
They had a lot of pizza.
Yeah.
A lot of Costco pizza.
Yeah. I don't
2
even know if
stacks
it was
this
Costco
high.
pizza.
Wow.
It was
Might not have been Costco pizza.
it was worse than Costco pizza.
I mean, some people really like Costco pizza.
Yeah, but this is like it was in between Little Caesars and Costco.
Little
It's
Caesars,
not
please
pizza
do not
you
sponsor us.
This doesn't sound like pizza.
I didn't have any. I
Well,
don't.
Little Caesars can sponsor us. We can't say anything good about them.
You just. I said something bad about
Little
them. Little
Caesars.
Caesars is not good pizza.
Doesn't mean we can't promote them. Little Caesars.
The only good thing they have going for them, and I think they know this, is it's
That it's
cheap.
cheap, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually I heard, and I don't know how true this is because this is a secondhand story from somebody who heard it secondhand, who may have made it up.
So it's like 4th hand?
Yeah, this is 4th hand. But they don't hire any employees. There's one guy, but his sole purpose. So you could literally, if you owned a Little Caesars restaurant, you could go hire somebody off the street, give them a shower, and have them wash their hands. Hopefully. I mean,
Well,
I
I'm
guess that's
assuming
probably
that in
not
the
a
shower,
requirement at
you
Little Caesars.
have like soap in your hands, so you're kind of washing your hands at the same time. So
I don't know.
They probably don't really care.
If I lived on the street, I would.
But it's Little
need to
Caesars.
wash
They're
my
not having
hands
people wash their
permanently.
hands when they toss the dough.
As long as there was soap.
But
in the
that's the thing.
bathroom,
They
it
don't have to
counts.
toss the dough. They just move the pizza from like robot to robot, and the robot makes the pizza. A human never does anything.
Wait, so you heat up a Little Caesars pizza or something?
they're
Basically, that's
preheated.
what they do.
I think you just take them out of the store and they're already hot. But
So
they've
who
probably been
works at a
sitting-
Little Caesars then?
Sitting
One
under
one person, but his sole purpose is to move the pizza from station to station while a robot makes the pizza, and then they just put it in a
So
box.
Little Caesars over here, there's only one person working. in there.
Probably, most likely, yes.
But it looks
Maybe
like you
two.
can sit down or something. Like they would have waiters or something.
No, you don't.
It's
Sit
like a-
down at a Little Caesars. Why on earth would you do that?
It's
I
like
don't
a gas
know.
Station. One person.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was fascinating. It's genius to have just a robot that creates a pizza.
Well, and they're overpricing their pizza then apparently. $5 for a robot made pizza?
That's pretty darn good. Though. You have to. They have dough, and
Brandon,
they have to make profit.
it probably takes 10 cents to make one pizza.
I'm sure those machines aren't cheap.
Upgrade for $1.
Dude, upgrade
Ooh.
for $1. Then what else do you need? Wait,
What are the sides?
honestly, so you can for $1 more, you can get the most pepperoni.
Extra most bestest. That's good grammar.
Oh jeez. See, they don't even need they don't need sponsorship. I've already talked too much about them.
They already
Cheese
have-
and thank you.
So
Oh,
the
geez.
price is
really
irrelevant.
TV
I
It
guess.
just has fellow kids written all over it.
So a classic pepperoni. They don't have prices on here.
That's because it's pretty much free.
It is a large round pizza with pepperoni. Yeah. A
That's all they
computer
sell,
makes
Brandon.
this.
And
No, they have sides.
I'm pretty sure all you have to do at Little
Oh,
Caesars
cinnamon
is
loaded
walk
crazy
in the door
bites.
and they hand you a pizza because they're already
Okay, that looks good. I would
That
pay
does
money for
actually
that.
go good.
cinnamon bites.
Oh
Does not look like they're skimping on those.
no, they are not skimping on those. But again,
It is just an online picture.
a
Yeah.
robot. Well, yeah. Let's.
Look up real pictures.
could-
Cinnamon loaded.
You could open the box and discover it's horrible.
Cinnamon loaded crazy bites. Real. Google Images. It doesn't look
Yeah,
bad.
that doesn't look bad.
It doesn't look like the picture, but it doesn't look bad. It looks like a robot made it for sure.
Well, I'm assuming that all the sauce is on the bottom because
Yeah, so you stir it
it
up or
was
something
been like-
with the
it
spoon.
took like 10 minutes to drive back home.
And then you're shaking it in the car and everything's settling to the bottom.
Sure.
What else has happened?
You guys have been playing Planet Coaster. How do you like that?
Good. I feel it makes me a lot more creative, which is why I like it.
Ethan, you haven't officially bought it yet. What's your stance on it?
No, I've just played it on his computer.
So what's your opinion on it?
I have an opinion on it.
All right. Play any
the
other
only
games
thing.
recently?
It's definitely better than Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 was. I think it's the same developer, right? Frontier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just, I mean, it's updated. It's much more pretty visually. The building and terrain editors are vastly improved. Everything just works nicely. You can really get into the like crazy park design where you have all kinds of buildings and things are more built out like it would be in Disneyland or something versus just a simple park. I think the main problem I had with Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 trying to do that was the way you had to construct buildings was almost ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember you. I was just playing that
Overcomplicated.
game recently, the Roller Coaster Tycoon 3.
Mhm.
You couldn't place walls on the path block.
Yeah, there was all kinds of problems with that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Planet Coaster.
I think there was
super
mods
stuff like
that did that, but I just don't
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
downloading
It
any
was
mods
it was
at
almost
the time.
impossible to make buildings people could actually go into or anything.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it is. It's very, very visually appealing.
And the track editor is just amazing too. I mean,
You can basically do
you
anything.
can make incredibly crazy coasters, and everything looks great.
Now, how about its competitor, Parkitect or something, right?
I would say the competitor, because Parkitect's more, it follows more closely with like Roller Coaster Tycoon and Roller Coaster Tycoon 2,
Both good games.
where it's more it's isometric.
So it's a retro scenario game
Yeah, it's just an updated version of.
where you're constantly trying to do like tasks or you're trying to achieve the goals of that scenario.
It's in beta right now, so they don't really have scenarios. So it's more like a sandbox.
So it's just the visual style. Then.
Yeah, and it's just flat ground. It's pretty basic right now, but they have a lot of cool concepts like the food delivery. So your food actually gets delivered to the park. You have these underground tubes that will connect these supplies rooms.
So they've added some elements of realism.
Yeah, so it's a little bit more management, but it's also at the same time like Planet Coaster. I feel like, and I think they realize it too, because you can turn off a lot of the management features.
Right.
Is where like Planet Coaster can get really really in depth, but Parkitect is much more like Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. Once you get into a groove, it's fairly easy to keep going with it. Whereas Planet Coaster, everything can be going good, and then all of a sudden nothing's going good. Is my experience with it. I find the management in Planet Coaster to be a little difficult.
So, Parkitect and Planet Coaster are Frontier and Atari, correct?
No, so I would say
Or it was the second
Planet
developer
Coaster's-
from Roller Coaster Tycoon,
yeah,
correct?
Planet Coaster's main
Atari
competitor was supposed to be
the old one.
Roller Coaster Tycoon World, which is Atari, which is technically the fourth iteration of Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, or the fourth real iteration other than their mobile apps and all the other garbage that they put out.
I hear Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic for the iPad was actually good, though.
Yeah, but it's basically Roller Coaster
But-
Tycoon, the original one. So
I think they had like pat maps from the first two mixture.
So
yeah,
So World is the first desktop release since Roller Coaster
Roller
Tycoon
Coaster
3.
Tycoon.
And how is that one?
And it's
Horrible.
and it's
Absolutely horrible.
made only by Atari.
The people do the moonwalk all over the park.
I mean,
There's some pretty funny YouTube
On
videos
purpose.
to see how the physics or lack of work in that game.
Interesting.
The
Sounds
track
kinda
editor
fun.
is horrible. Everything is just horrible.
so now my question would be: is if you combine Parkitect and Planet Coaster together, would you have like the ultimate Roller Coaster Tycoon game?
It doesn't completely. I mean, Parkitect. It just sounds like
Like the management
it's
from Parkitect
easier
and
to play, or maybe there's like some elements of realism that aren't present.
I think they're two very different games for two
You wouldn't
very
combine
different
them?
type of people.
Yeah.
I think Parkitect is going to be more for like really casual people who just want to play and don't really want to think about being, because for me Parkitect it's fun, but it's a little too limited. Like
Yeah,
I like the creative aspect of Planet Coaster to where I can like
I don't think the visual style actually meshes with what Planet Coaster is trying to do at all.
right. Planet Coaster is really grabbing on to, hey, like let's recreate this thrill ride as realistically as possible. And like people on YouTube have been able to like recreate roller coasters like with the exact specs of the real thing, which is like fairly impressive, because before all you could do was No Limits 2 to really get that realism. And I think No Limits 2 definitely still has they edge out on the realism of things, because Parkitect at the end of the day does have to be Planet Coaster at the end of the day still has to be a fun to play game, and not where you're meticulously placing every support piece.
Right.
But
They have to make it scale well for players that enjoy different difficulties.
right. So I mean, I think they've done a really really good job. And in the beginning, because it was like the only game I've ever pre-ordered, and they worked with the community a lot to really fine-tune how everything should work, and they really and still do take in community feedback to really make the game better all the time, which is really nice. I mean, better than what EA does.
All right, yeah.
So yeah, that's my 7 cents.
7 cents. It's 2 cents.
Yeah, but I think that was a lot of information, and my mouth is very dry.
Sounds like you need some water.
I do. What can I say?
Should we wrap it up?
Pretty thirsty. Yeah, I think that's a good place to wrap it up.
All right. This has been the first Clean Kitchen podcast. Thanks for watching / listening if you did not watch this. This is a video podcast for now. Correct?
Yeah, for now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this video will be posted on YouTube. We'll look at getting it on Spotify and iTunes as the time goes on. SoundCloud.
That'll probably be the first one.
Oh yeah.
Because SoundCloud's easy, right?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll
be up on one of those.
I know how to do
YouTube.
Too. YouTube is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll find us on the Brewski Network channel, which I think is you can subscribe to us on YouTube. Drop a like on the video.
That name's gonna change.
Eventually, yes, that name is gonna change.
Why would we change that?
Because we're not really the Brewski Network. It's just the channel that we had.
No, I think it's still a good name. I think we should go with it.
Sure, why not? Because we're going to be trying to post other videos too.
Yeah. But for now, it's just going to be the podcast to start. So, subscribe to us, Brewski Network, on YouTube and Twitch. Eventually, we'll get to a point where we'll be comfortable enough to stream this live, as if anyone's going to be watching it. If you do happen to find this very first episode and have any suggestions for us, leave a like and leave a nice comment.
Like, subscribe, comment down below, merch in bio, subscribe,
Subscribe.
hit that bell icon.
Next week we'll talk about the bell icon.
All right, sure.
Yeah.
So that's what you'll have to look forward to.
Yeah.
The bell
next
icon.
week we're going to talk about the lovely bell icon and how all the YouTubers have to tell you to hit that little bell icon.
Not all the YouTubers, just the relevant ones.
Yeah.
Or the ones that everybody would like to be irrelevant. All right. That's it.
All right.
See you guys next time.